Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cardman's Cards. I am the Cardman. Today we're going to be going over another, this is the first variant of Raikia I'll be going over. I have plenty in the works. I have Trap Trick, Bee Trooper, Insector, Odota, more even. There is a lot of decks that you can play Raikia in, and I will plan to cover them, most of them. I'm not going to say all, because I never know how many there is. But, this is a Naturia variant, I should say. I'll just say more Naturia Raika, due to the fact that you're playing more Naturia cards than Raika cards. They kind of, excuse that, balance out. So let's go ahead and jump into it. First off, we're going to start with the Raika cards, and then we're going to jump into the Naturia cards. So first up, we have 3 Ragnaraika Evil Seed. This is a level 1 Earth Plant at 0/0. Summon this card from your hand by sending 1 insect, plant, or reptile from your hand to the grave. Summon 1 Ragnaraika Evil Seed once per turn this way. If this card is no more special summon, you can add to your hand up to 2 different Ragnaraika cards of yours that are banished or in your deck, except Ragnaraika Evil Seed, then banish 1 card from your hand. Also, you can summon from the rest of the turn, except insect, plant, and reptile monsters. You only use effective Ragnaraika the Evil Seed once per turn. So, this is your main card, 1-card starter combo with Evil Seed, as it basically gives you access to 98% of your cards. Very helpful, very good. Especially with using Bloom, because Bloom can just search the Evil Seed. Very helpful. Next up we have 2 Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle, level 3 Light Insect, 15/0. Summon this card from your hand by placing 1 of your banished insect, plant, or reptile monsters from the bottom of the deck. You can summon Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle once per turn this way. If this card is sent to the graveyard as material for Ragnaraika Link monster, you can target 1 level 4 or lower insect, plant, or reptile monster in the grave, except itself, special summon it into its position. Use this effective Ragnaraika Samurai Beetle once per turn. So, it's a free summon. If you put back 1 of your banished plant, insect, or reptile, and then it has a summon back when it's used for a Raikia Link, which there's several of. So basically, it just replaces itself as a free material. On top of the Link 2 allows you to summon another body, so basically it's an easy Link 4 play. He's a 2 of, especially in this variant, you definitely don't need 3, as opening him is not as great as just searching it, because it gets you the guaranteed banish for the body of his summon. But yeah, he's still a good card. Not inherently bad. But a 2 of is perfectly fine. If you would like to run 3, you can, but I don't find it necessary, especially with playing the Naturia cards, as this is mainly of an engine for Naturia, not necessarily using Raikia as the main support. Next up we have is I'm not 100% sure what this name will translate to eventually, because it's coming out in Infinite Forbidden. You don't have the English translation names yet, but I'm just going to refer to it as Ragnaraika Moth, because it's based off a moth. I'm not 100% sure what the translation name will be. I will give the given name that you see in the description. Whenever it does come out, I will change that to whatever its correct name is supposed to be. But we're going to go ahead, and the moth is a level 4 Insect, Earth, 18/0. You can discard this card to summon an insect, plant, or reptile monster from your hand. If this card is banished from the hand or graveyard, you can activate this effect. During the end phase, draw cards equal to the number of plant, insect, and reptile monsters you control with different types. You can only use this effect, each effect of Ragnaraika Moth once per turn. So it allows you to basically pitch to summon any plant, insect, or reptile, and if you banish it, it's a plus whatever, depending on how many of the tri-type you have. So it's very good just to free summon from hand in addition to additional draw cards on the end of turn. You can run more of this. I'm only running 1 because the pitch to summon effect is good, but I found it to be a little cloggy with the additional cards, because it basically is just a dead card in hand, because it's only meant to pitch to summon, when you rather send it off with some other means. Like, if you open it for, like, Evil Seed or whatever, that's great. But normally, it not necessarily comes up unless you're using it for the combo cards. So that's I'm running 1. You can definitely run more of it, that's no problem. if you want to run more copies to see it to pitch for summoning of the other plant, insect, or reptile monsters, which you easily could. And then we run 1 Ragnaraika Armored Lizard at level 4 Dark Reptile, 0/23, very big defense. There's on this card from your hand by banishing 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster from the grave. You only special summon Ragnaraika. Man, I'm sleepy today. Armored Lizard once per turn this way. You can discard 1 insect, plant, reptile monster you control, except it. Let me rephrase that. You can discard 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster. Target 1 monster on your opponent controls, except insect, plant, or reptile. Return it to the hand. You can only use this effect of Ragnaraika Armored Lizard once per turn. So it's target negation. Target removal, unless it's one of the tri-types. You have to pitch a tri-type to activate it. It is the consensus of the worst of the types that the deck has, like the rep in deck monsters. Because the insect and the plant ones are all just free summons. This one is too, but they do additional effects that give you advantage. Evil Seed's a searcher, Beetle is a summon back, and Moth is just a draw cards. Like, I just draw cards. This is just target removal. It's not inherently bad, but it's also overall the worst. And just because it doesn't really do anything on your turn. It's just kind of like, hi, I'm there. So, that is it for the Raikia cards. There is 1 spell and a trap, which we'll go over when we get there. But for the monsters, this is all the Raikia monsters. We're going to go ahead and go into the Naturia monsters. First up, we have 3 Naturia Mole Cricket, level 1 Earth Insect, 0/0. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card by summon 1 Naturia monster from your deck. Or if summon 2 Naturia monsters, your opponent controls a monster with highest attack on the field, even if tied. If your opponent summons a monster from the extra deck, or you special summon a Naturia monster from the extra deck, while this card is in the graveyard, except during the damage tip, you can summon this card, beginning each effect of Naturia Mole Cricket once per turn. So this allows you to basically just float into any other Naturia card. In addition to, it has a resurrection effect if your opponent summons from the extra deck, by any means. And then you contribute this guy again to summon up to 2 if your opponent has a high attack monster. So it's very good to get some of the cards out that you need, on top of other plays that you want to felicitate during your turn. Like going into another 3 of Naturia Camellia. It's a level 4 Earth Plant Tuner, 14,700. If this card is no more special, you can send one Naturia card from your deck to the grave. If you attribute a monster to activate a Naturia monster effect, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave instead. If your opponent normally summons a monster, except during the damage step, summon one Naturia monster from your grave. You only use each effect of Naturia Camellia once per turn. So this allows you to foolish any Naturia card, and then allows you to basically pay the cost of your Naturia cards, and by instead of tributing monsters, you can just mill a top 2, like your Naturia Synchros. And then when you summons a monster, no more special summons a monster, you just get a free summon back. So this allows you to felicitate Mole Cricket even easier. Then we have a couple 1-ofs. We have 1 Tria Sunflower, a level 2 Earth Plant, 500/0. Your opponent activate when your opponent's monster when your opponent monster effect is activated, a quick effect, you contribute 1 monster and this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy this card. So this basically allows you to felicitate just a negate. But with Camilla, this allows you to negate a couple times. Since you have to tribute a card for cost. Next up, we have Naturia Rosewhip, and it's a level 3 Earth Plant Tuner effect, 417. Your opponent cannot activate only activate 1 spell or trap each turn. So this does kind of act like summon limit to a degree for spell and traps, of course, summon limit monsters, but it only checks on field. It's not inherently like period. Because summon limit basically, once it hits a field, your opponent can only summon 2 times per turn, like period. This is each the way it's worded. I forget how the ruling works. So basically, it allows you if your opponent can only activate 1 trap or spell once this card hits the field. If this card is on the field, your opponent can only activate one spell or trap. But if they activate a spell or trap before this card hits the field, they still get one with this. Because the card doesn't technically see that one activated before it. It does not act like Summon Limit in that way. Summon Limit sees that, oh, he summoned twice this turn, no more. If I am wrong, please leave it in the description, because I could be 100% sure. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the last Naturia card, and then some other random fun stuff. We have Naturia Bamboo Shoot, a level 5 Earth Plant effect monster. 2000. While this face-up card was tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards. So, this is completely shuts off spell and traps. Completely. As long as it's tribute summoned by tributing a Naturia monster. Which is why I run some of the additional cards, we will see. But it completely locks out your spell and traps, which is terrific. Awesome. Especially if you can make this on your opponent's turn, you basically lock your opponent out of spell and traps. Fun stuff. And then it mainly relies on you having a Naturia monster in addition to your one card combo. But yeah, it's very helpful. You don't necessarily have to run Bamboo Shoot. You can easily cut this card. I'm running it just for the funsies. You can easily cut this and then cut a couple handful of cards as well. I'll let you know which ones you can cut. You can easily cut this and then cut the other card and then run just another couple of hand traps. Alright, I do believe that it's all the Naturia monsters. There's a couple of spell and traps. We're going to go ahead and jump into the additional monsters that are ran. They're just, in general, free extenders. We have 3 Lone Fire Blossom, which is a level 3 fire plant. 514. Once per turn, you can tribute one face-up plant monster, special summon one plant monster from your deck. This is inherently just an inherent plant summon. That's all this is. Basically, you don't summon this, and it becomes any plant monster in the deck. So this basically becomes Evil Seed, Camellia, Sunflower, Rosewhip. Anything that's a plant in your deck, Lone Fire can just basically instantly become. So it's basically running an additional 3 copies of Evil Seed, Camellia, which are basically your one card combo starters, which is terrific. It's an easy 3 of, especially since you're running so many plant monsters. We're going to go ahead and move on to the one Aromage Laurel. And it's a level 1 wind plant effect, 800. If your life points are higher than your opponent, you can summon this card from your hand. If you gain life points, target one non-tuner plant monster on the field. Tria's a this turn. Ooh, sorry, so sleepy. This card sent to the graveyard. You can gain 500 life points. With each effect of Aromage Laurel once per turn. This is mainly used for Jasmin. Aromaseraphy Jasmin. If you link this away or destroy it, or anybody sent to the graveyard, you gain 5, which will trigger Jasmin, which allow you to add any plant monster. Again, you don't have to run this. This is mainly to add the Bamboo Shoot for the combo. Mainly it. And then we have a few hand traps. I run, I think it's 6 in total. You can run up to 12. Sorry, I run 9. You can run 12. I'm running the other 3 hand trap slots. I'm running a different card that allows me to more successfully trigger the, still sleepy, the Bamboo Lock. We have 3 Ash Blossom, which if your opponent adds, summons, or sends from deck, discard this card, negate that effect. And we have 3 Droll, which your opponent adds from deck to hand, discard this card, opponent cannot add cards for the rest of the turn. I have other additional hand traps down below. I will go over those quickly before we end. And then we have, we're going to move on to the spells. We're going to start with the Raikia spells, move into the Naturia spells, and then the additional just random spells that I'm running. So first off, we have Ragnaraika Bloom. It's a continuous spell card. Insect, plant, reptile monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Also, other monsters in the field lose 300 attack and defense during your main phase. You can only activate one of these effects. Add one Ragnaraika monster from deck to your hand, then discard one card. Or summon one Ragnaraika monster from your hand, grave, or banishment in defense position. Use each effect of Ragnaraika Bloom once per turn. So this basically allows you to help with consistency in addition to, say, like you open the the moth. This allows you to still felicitate full combo by searching the spell and the Beetle, by banishing the Beetle because you're allowed to banish this card back. So it's basically just an additional body if needed. Then we have 3 Naturia Blessing. It's a quick play spell. You can activate one of these effects. Special summon one Naturia monster from grave. Immediately has effect resolve. Synchro summon one Synchro monster using monster you control as a Naturia monster, including a Naturia monster. Fusion summon one Fusion monster from your extract using monsters you control as materials, including a Naturia monster. So it's a summon from grave, a quick sync, or a quick fuse. I'm not running any of the Naturia fusions because they require you to have multiple Naturia synchros on the field, which this deck kind of struggles with due to the fact that Naturia synchros, or you can make one of them or 2 of them relatively easily, but inherently making them while using the Raikia combos kind of locks you out of them, which kind of stinks. But with all the in-deck negation shenanigans you can put up, it's not that bad. But Blessing is an easy card to play. It's really searchable off of the trap card. Now we have 3 Super Solar Nutrient. It is another quick play spell. It looks hilarious. I like this card. You can activate this card by tribute one level 2 or lower plant type monster. Now summon one plant monster from the hand or deck whose level is less and are equal to the same level as a attributed monster. You only activate this if on the field +3. When this card leaves the field destroy that monster. So this allows you to tribute the monster and summon a plant monster that's +3 levels from the field or grave. So if you tribute a 1, you can summon a 4. If you tribute a 2, you can summon a 5. Which is great because you're going to tribute, if you're using the Super Solar Nutrient, you can tribute Laurel, or Aromage Laurel, and then you can summon Chamomile from the deck, which is helpful. And then for the last spell we have is 1 for 1. You run 6 cards that are level 1s, which is amazing. Even technically 7 with Laurel. But you run a bunch of level 1s that are super easy to summon. 1 for 1 is just a no-brainer at this point. You can easily cut this and you don't have to worry about it. Lastly, we have just some couple traps. We have 3 infinite permanents. It's just target negation. And then if it's set while activated, you can negate the same spell and trap zone in the same column as the set Nibiru. And sorry, not Nibiru, it's infinite impermanence. And we have 1 Ragnaraika Hunting Dance. Target cards your opponent controls up to a number of different types among lake monsters you control that are insect, plant, or reptile. Destroy them. Face up insect, plant, or reptile monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in the graveyard. Except the turn of the center, you can banish this card and target 1 monster opponent controls. Destroy it. You can only activate each effect of Ragnaraika Hunting Dance once per turn. So this allows you to basically pop 2 cards. Pop a card for each of the tri-types that you have on field, which in this variant won't be very many. It normally will be like 1 or 2. And then you pop a card if one of the tri-type monsters is destroyed. So not inherently like terrific, but great if you can get it off. We're running one of it. It doesn't come up as often as other Raikia variants, but it's still inherently good. You rather focus on the monster engine and then the trap, because the only way to get the trap is to search it, which inherently searching the trap isn't the best combo line. The next up we have 1 Naturia Sacred Tree, continuous trap card. Most effects don't matter. The only thing you really want it for is if the first line of text is, which is, good lord, I can't talk. If this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Naturia card from your deck to your hand except Naturia Sacred Tree. It allows you to add any Naturia card. Blessing, Mole Cricket, Chamomile, Sunflower, Rosewhip, there we go. Bamboo Shoot, any of them. I'll accept itself, which is fine. And then it has an additional effect. You can tribute 1 Earth Insect monster, summon 1 level 4 or lower, Earth Plant monster from deck. And then it has the same effect, but for the reverse. Tribute 1 Earth Plant monster, summon level 4 or lower, Earth Insect. So basically it allows you just to pop a plant, summon an insect, pop an insect, summon a plant. But yeah, it's the best effect for Sacred Tree is the send effect, but the other one's inherently good as well, especially if you need to swap a name for a different name. Cool fun fact though, reason the Naturia monsters are kind of sporadic, especially with the synchros, is they're based off an ecosystem of like a sacred forest. So you're gonna have like other animals and creatures than just bugs and plants. So just a little like, ooh, if you didn't realize that. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the extra deck. I'm gonna start with the synchros and go down, and we're gonna go from there. I run 1 Tria Landoise. It is a giant turtle. It's a level 7 rock effect synchro monster. 2350. Yeah, 1600. It's 1 Earth Tuner and 1 non-Earth Tuner, so you have to use only Earth monsters to summon it. So it's a little constrictive, but not terrible. When a monster effect is activated, man, I gotta stop recording as I'm sleepy. The monster effect is activated. Quick effect, you can send 1 spell from your hand to the graveyard and negate the activation. And if you do, destroy that monster. So it's inherently not as good as Naturia Beast or Barkion because they just send 2 cards. But it's still good if you have a spell. Because you can just get out a monster effect. This is the one you're going to use the least. You can inherently cut this if you're so inclined and run something else. But I still find that your running as is a good option. You can run Pot of Prosperity and use this as a banish target. Totally up to you. And then we have 1 Naturia Barkion, level 6 Earth Dragon Synchro effect, 1800. Or 1 Earth Tuner, 1 non-Earth Tuner, which again is not inherently hard. It's just more Naturia cards are Earth. When a trap card is activated, quick effect, banish 2 cards from your graveyard and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. This card must be face up on the field to resolve that effect. So, this basically just allows you to negate traps, which is great. Just banish 2 cards from grave, negate a trap. Which is not inherently hard to do, especially with how many cards you're going to be going through typical combos. And we have 1 Naturia Beast, which is a level 5 Beast Synchro effect, 2217. Materials are, again, 1 Earth Tuner, 1 non-Earth Tuner. Sorry, 1 Earth Tuner, 1 non-Tuner Earth Monster. When a spell is activated, quick effect, you can send top 2 cards of your deck, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. This card... Man, I am sleepy today. Excuse me. Good lord. Must be on the field to resolve that effect. We're going to go ahead and jump onto the Raikia Link monsters. We have Ragnaraika Stag Sovereign. It's a Link 5 Earth. 2+ plant, insect, or reptile monsters. If a monster is special summoned from your opponent's deck and or extra deck, except for the damage step, you can destroy 2 monsters on the field. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster you control, place it on the bottom of the deck. Then if you do summon this card, you only summon for the rest of the turn, except insect, plant, or reptile monsters, you only each effective Ragnaraika Stag Sovereign once per turn. So this is another easy pop 2 if you summon it, and then if it's in grave, you can just target any of the tri-types and just put it back and summon. So good. All the Raikia extra deck monsters have that effect. And we have Ragnaraika Chained Coils. It is a Link 4 Reptile Fire 29. 2+ monsters, including insect, plant, or reptile. When it activates a monster effect, except from the damage step, you can activate this effect. Neither player can activate effects of monsters in the hand this turn. If this card is sent to the grave, you can target 1 of your tri-types, monsters, put on the bottom of the deck, summon this card. And then we have the, I'm not 100% sure to call this one, is a reptile, but it's the other Link 3 that they're getting in info along with the Moth. I will, again, same thing with the Moth, I will leave its current name on the card text down below, but I will change it to the correctly translated name whenever we get it. But it is a Link 3 Reptile 26. It's a water monster. Requires 2 insect, plant, or reptile monsters. You banish up to 2 monsters from your graveyard, then target that many spells or traps, destroy them. Again, if this card's in the grave, target a plant, insect, or reptile, put it on the bottom of the deck, summon. And then we have Ragnaraika Mantis Monk. It's a Link 3 Wind Insect, 23 attack, I think it is. Yeah, 23. 2+ monsters, including plant, insect, reptile. You banish 2 insect, plant, or reptile monsters from the grave. Add 1 Ragnaraika trap from the deck to the hand. So this allows you to add the trap card. in addition to just getting at a free body with its second effect. That allows you to target an insect, plant, or reptile, place them on the deck, summon. And the best link monster that this deck has, not because it does some crazy effect or anything like that, it just basically felicitates a guaranteed link 4 that you can summon any link 4 with. That's plant, insect, or reptile, due to the fact that the Raika monsters lock you in as attributes types. Due to the fact of its effect. It's a link to Fire Plant Link 1600. It is Ragnaraika, Skeleton Soldier. 2 monsters include plant, reptile, or insect. Target 1 Ragnaraika monster in your grave. Special summon it to in defense position. This card is in grave. You can target 1 insect, plant, or reptile monster, place it on the deck, and you do summon this card. It's just a free summon. That's all it is. It just targets a Raika monster in your grave. Summon it. That's all it does. Which is, in combined to Samurai Beetle, you get a guaranteed link 4. Which is nuts. Pretty good. It is the best link they currently have. That is an easy 2 of, instead of playing just 1 like the other ones. We're going to go ahead and move on to the additional link monsters, or other monsters in the extra deck, that aren't inherently one of the 2 archetypes. We have Benghalancer. Not 100% sure if I'm saying that right. I could be wrong. The oh god. The second half's even more confusing. The Surgeon. There we go. It is a light level 4 plant link monster. It's a 2500 attack. 2 plus plant monsters. Good lord, I can't talk. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, take damage equal to its attack, and if you did take the damage, return it to the hand. If this card in the grave, you can banish 2 or more link monsters from the grave, whose combined link rating is equal to exactly 4. That's from this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Benghalancer, the Resurgence, once per turn, and only once that turn. So it's a monster effect negate with a resurrection effect, which is good because you can easily set up a spell and trap, restriction, or lock on your opponent. We have a Knightmare Phoenix, which is a link 2 Fire Fiend, 1900, 2 monsters with different names. If this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card and target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it. If this card was co-linked, when its effect was activated, draw 1 card. You can only use each effect of Knightmare Phoenix once per turn. Co-linked monsters opponent control cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. It's just an additional card. You can easily swap this for any other plant, insect, or reptile, fusion, Ixie, Link, Synchro, anything you like. Again, Knightmare Phoenix is just a completely flex spot, along with a couple of the other ones. Aromaseraphy Jasmin. Jasmin is not a flex spot. It is necessary for this deck, because it's a really good plant link monster. It's a link 2 light. Plant, 1800. 2 plant monsters. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, then this card or any plant monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by battle. You contribute 1 monster this card points to, so summon a plant monster from your deck. In defense position, you can only use this effect of Aromaseraphy Jasmin once per turn. Once per turn, if you gain life points, add 1 plant monster from deck to hand. That's where Laurel ties in. So basically, it's a pop and summon anything. Any plant monster, which is really good. It's really easy to make, because most of your cards are plants. Then we have 1 Haggard Lizard, or Lizardos, I think it's how I pronounce that one. Random TCG import. It's a link to water reptile monster. It's 800. 2 monsters with different names, so it's very similar to the Knightmare cards. It's just generics. You can banish 1 monster face up from the field or grave with 2,000 attack or less. Target a monster on the field. Man. Target 1 face up monster on the field. Make its attack become equal to the original attack of the monster banished. Then to activate this effect to the end of the turn. The banished monster that was originally a reptile, draw a card. This basically allows you to attack, to change a monster's attack by banishing a monster, and then if it's a reptile, you draw a card, which you do run a couple reptiles in the deck. So inherently not a bad card, but not necessarily a great card. Then we have 1 Dryas, necessarily just to link your level 4 or lower plant monsters, put them in grave. That's all it's really used for. Effect never really comes up. It's a link 1, earth, plant, 0, 0. Requires 1 level 4 or lower plant monster. When it reads effect, just to go over it, it doesn't really ever come up. Sorry, it never comes up because they don't run the link monster that's required for it. Sorry, the normal monster. If this card is link summoned in the EMZ using Sunseed Genius Loki as material, you can add 1 Sunvine spell or trap from your deck to your hand. This card cannot be targeted for attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. Once per turn, if you take any battle damage or effect damage, you can gain that much life point. And if you do, summon 1 Sunvine monster from the extra deck. The effect never goes off. Only there for the link. That's all it's there for. And then the last link monster we have is Relinquished Anima. It is a Link 1 Dark Spellcaster, 0 attack. Level requires 1 level 1 monster except the token. The main reason you're running Anima is because if you normal summon Evil Seed, and Evil Seed gets negated, you're no longer restricted, especially if your opponent has a board. You can easily make Anima and just take their monster that it points to. Only reason you're running Anima, just because you run so many generic level 1 monsters that you can easily make this card and use it to your advantage. Other than that, if you don't feel like running Anima, you do not have to. I'm going to quickly run through some additional cards you could change out for the hand traps and other spots. And then, I do believe we're going to call it there. So quickly, we're going to go over. We have Nibiru, the Primal Being. If your opponent summons normal or special summons 5 or more times, tribute all monsters, summon a token with the combined stats of those monsters. Skullmeister, level 4 Fiend, 17400. When a card effect is activated in the graveyard, and quick effect, discard this card and negate the activation. Ghostmore and Moonlit Chill, level 3 Wind, Zombie Tuner, 018. When a special summons a monster, face up except from the damage set, you can discard this card, target one of those face up monsters. Negate its effect until the end of the turn. Also, if that face up monster leaves the field this turn, controller takes damage equal to its original attack. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, level 3 Light Psychic Tuner, 018. A monster on the field activates effect, or a spell or trap that is on the already face up on the field activates effect. With effect, you can summon this card from the hand or field of the graveyard. Destroy it. And that card on the field, you can only use each effect of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit once per turn. Ghost Bell, level 3 Zombie Tuner, 018. Card effect includes any of these effects. Quick effect, you can discard this card, negate the activation. Add cards from grave to hand. Summon from monster from grave. Banish a card from grave. D.D. Crow. Quick effect. Discard this card. Target one card. The card in the graveyard. Banish this card. Effect failure. Target negation. Target card opponent controls. Negate it during the main phase. We have Maydance. Generator Boss of Light. It's a level 9 plant. 24/24. Only control one Mardell Generator Boss of Light. This is no more as special summon. Add 1 generator card or plant monster from deck to hand, except Mardell Generator Boss of Light. It's just plant search. That's all it does. It's just a way to search plants. And we have number 3, Cicada King, rank 3 Wind Insect. 12/25. It's a negate. It's a quick effect negate. Then you can target a monster you control. Insect monster on the field, either gain 500 or changes battle position. We have Nightmare Unicorn, 2+ monsters with different names, link 3 Fiend, 22 attack. If when summoned, discard a card, target a monster on the field, shuffle it back to the deck. 1 SP and IP, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP Masquerena. This is just for people who have the monies, because SP is still super expensive, but a good card, because it's inherently Sky Striker Ace Zeke. Quick effect, banish a card until the end of the turn. And this is on quick effect speed. In addition, if you lose a link monster, add summon material, banish this card on summon. So it's Zeke, but additional banish and quick effect speed. That's all it is. It's inherently good, and I know it's going to get banned eventually. IP. It's a quick link. In addition to the monster it is linked into, cannot be destroyed by battle. It's a link to Dark Cyber's 800 attack. Lastly, we have Small World. It's a spell card. You can reveal 1 monster in hand. Choose 1 monster from your deck that has exactly 1 of the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense. Banish that revealed monster from your hand, face down, then add 1 monster from the deck to your hand that exactly 1 same type, attribute, level, attack, defense. As a monster chosen, banish the card you chose from the deck face down. You only have 1 Small World once per turn. It's just basically getting your cards that you need. It's just consistency. And lastly is Called by the Grave, a quick play spell. Target one monster your opponent controls, banish it, and if you do, at the end of the next turn, its effects are negated as well as the activated effects, and effects on the field of the monster of the same original name. Again, until fire is no longer good, I'm going to continue to make the example of if your opponent activates Fire King Ponyx effect in Grave, to add itself back during the standby phase, banish the Ponyx, they don't get the Ponyx back. In addition to that, when they try to normal summon the Ponyx on the next turn, you do not get the effect. So, that is everything. Again, just a quick bleh. If you guys would like me to go over just a hand trap / like board breaker guide or whatever, leave it down in the comments below. Leave any suggestions in the comments below. I already have a few I gotta do. And until next time, this has been Naturia Raganraika. I am the card man's cards. I am the card man. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Keep collecting. Bye.